So you have your conversation cards. Let's do one.
I do. And I just dropped one.
Oh,
so
maybe that's it then.
shall we do the one I just dropped?
Yes. Do it.
All
Do
right.
it.
So the one I just dropped was...
Oh,
all right,
no,
all right.
No. Oh, no.
Okay, this one, the way you usually interpret this one, it's one that you don't want to answer. It's what's your favorite fantasy.
My favorite fantasy.
However, fantasy does not necessarily have to mean a sexual fantasy.
The very fact that you would assume that I would think such unbearably uncivilized and plebeian thoughts.
I assumed
with
because
this sophisticated brain of mine.
It's
utterly offensive to the entire Duval name.
No, I assumed because because one time that card came up when we were doing conversation cards, and you did assume it was a sexual fantasy. I tried to explain to you that it didn't have to be.
Right. I would like to apologize for literally everybody listening right now.
What? For doing this? No.
Josh, your mic has been turned down for the time being. You're on a 10-second timeout. Okay, you're back up to speed.
Well, it'll take me that long to stop laughing. So. I don't know. It's not as bad as when Ian tried to come on your show.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, forget I said that.
Spoke of it. Anyway,
so what's your favorite fantasy? Not having Ian on your show.
What does that mean, though?
Okay, when you fantasize, what is it about? Is it about having a good paying job? Good company?
I don't know. I fantasize about
that orange soda,
bridesmaid dresses and toasters.
Really?
That's what I fantasize.
When you pour that orange soda into the ocean, it's a fantasy.
Yeah, I don't know, cuz I fantasize about like
everything or nothing. Have you been fantasizing about getting a job this summer? I mean, you don't have to fantasize about being able to drive anymore.
We don't have to talk about that.
Why? Because you do, or because you don't?
Because I because I do not.
Well, I mean, only because your stable job that you already had is out of commission this summer.
Yeah. So yeah, I've applied to some places, but I haven't had anything come back yet. So
yeah, well, it's always good for your resume to complain about not having a job on the radio. So
how? Okay, that's stretching it. Do you think that the hiring managers at Starbucks or something are tuning into all the radio stations to be like, oh, that guy doesn't fantasize about things that I would agree with, so we're
I don't know.
They've
been known to stalk people on Facebook, so I wouldn't quite put it past
That's true.
them.
That scares me. I might go back and delete anything political I've ever said ever.
Well, no, because if they're not going to hire you because of who you are, would you want to work for them anyway? I mean, this is the thing.
Yeah, but
my mother has been known to say that express that she wishes I were a couple of inches taller because
Why?
then I would be more likely to get hired. Whereas
is that a pun?
And I always because hire. But I always say, like, do I really want to work for someone who won't hire me because I'm not 2 inches taller?
But
I'm already either 2 or 4 inches taller than my parents, depending on which
that
parent
begs the
you're
question:
looking at.
do you want a job though? Because maybe the employers are looking at that stuff.
Well, yeah, I want a job, but would you? I could ask someone else, do you want a relationship? And they still wouldn't want a relationship with someone who doesn't accept them for who they are.
That's okay. Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah. Getting deep. Yeah, you thought the favorite fantasy section would be awkward.
Yeah, that mostly I avoided the awkwardness by avoiding the question, essentially.
Well,
I'm
always,
which is one of my greatest skills. In fact, I ought to put that on my resume under my skill sets.
Do you use that skill during job interviews?
I'm a very hard worker, and I'm really I have a strong work ethic, and I'm always ready to be committed to this company. And
well, Scotty, tell me, what's your biggest flaw?
And your microphone is turning off. And it's back on.
You actually did turn it off.
I actually did turn it off. Would you like to ask me that question again? I have the power.
Yeah, well,